Hi guys, welcome back to Surviving Infidelity. Today's story is titled, I, 20 female, found out my mother, 43 female, had a secret baby 2 years ago. And it's not my dad's. 2 years ago. So, Miss Girl cheated. What? Also, I'm back to the old lighting because I saw someone comment, thank you so much for the comment. And I've also realised myself that no matter what with glasses, it's going to reflect on them. I can't really stop that or prevent it unless I get new lighting, and hopefully in the future I'll be able to have the funds to be able to do that, but for now just gonna have to unfortunately stick with the rings in there as the other lighting was casting way too many shadows. But yeah, before we get into the video, I just want to remind you of the Patreon channel. The link is in the description. There's more explicit content and stuff like that over there if you want to check it out. But we'll get straight into the video. This situation is really messing with my head, and at this point, my own mother and grandmother are near enough attempting to bribe me to stay quiet. Oh. So, I, 20 female, am one of 4, also I believed until a few days ago. There is me, my twin brother Eddie, 20 male, and 2 older half-siblings, Ruben, 24 male, and Grace, 23 female. Ruben is my mum's first child, and Grace is my dad's, 45 male, first also. So around 2 years ago, our grandmother on my mum's side had cancer, and my mum went and moved in with her for a while to help her and to care for her. We didn't see her throughout the whole time, as my grandma lives halfway across the country, plus at the time, I and my bro was busy with last year of school exams, and Ruben was staying with his dad in England. So nobody could go out to visit. Not even dad to see his wife because he was really busy with work himself. Mum was gone for a total of 6 months. Well, we know what she did in that. And when she got back, she had changed. She had seemed very sad and would constantly be all over me and my brother. I assumed she just missed us while she was gone. We already know that's hopefully not the case. 2 years passed since then, and on a visit home, when doing things around the house, I knocked over my mum's handbag and everything fell out. Naturally, I cleaned it up, but in my mum's wallet, there was a picture sticking out of her with a newborn baby in a hospital bed. Brother. Oh my god. So does that mean she had cheated before? Because it's only 6 months. So she would have had the baby in that 6 months? And was that all a lie? What is happening? Okay, let's just keep reading before I jump to conclusions. I was confused at first and thought maybe it was her for me or one of my brothers as babies. But it was dated from the time she was away with Gran. I ended up confronting my mum about it, and she froze at first, but then tried brushing it off and changing the subject, but I wouldn't let her. Good. I wanted to know why she was in hospital with a baby around the time she was gone. Either she'd tell me, or I showed dad, I told her. That's when she started crying and told me everything. She had an affair with another man that's not my dad. She started her affair in 2018, got knocked up in 2019, and gave birth early 2020. I have a baby brother. She had a secret baby and nobody noticed. My gran knew and covered for her. She never had cancer and she just lied about the chemo and surgeries. How could I be so stupid? I was so angry with her. What? That is something you don't also lie. That is a very big thing. Cancer is a very big thing. It's not something you should be using as a lie as well. What? Also, what did she do, Grandma? I know she was looking out for her daughter, but you also were hiding up this whole thing, even from your own grandchildren. What? That is wild. I can't believe they were both in on it, and they were both hiding this, and used cancer as, a cover-up, and said there was even surgeries. Just so she could hide this pregnancy. Oh, that makes me mad. And it's also just so crazy that you go that far just to hide what you've done, because you're obviously, you cheated. And you had a baby, and now you're also taking away the chance of anyone even knowing this baby too. And does she not talk to the baby? What? I guess we'll find out. I asked her about the pregnancy and the other man. Turns out she didn't go to Gran's to have the baby, but just the other end of town to a AP's house, and just didn't leave his house. And what's worse is that he, AP, was 24 at the time with 2 kids already, but at least he was single. She stayed with her AP and his kids while going through a pregnancy and left a baby with him. I asked more about this man, looked him up, and I know him. He is the son of a family friend, and I've seen him around town with my baby brother and didn't even know it. That's what I'm saying. Like, she's also taken away the fact that even though it was infidelity, is the reason why there's a baby, it's still their sibling. And like, I've not been doing well since finding this all out. My mum keeps trying to talk to me, but I either lock her out of my room I'm in or be around my dad so she can't talk about it. And whenever she does get a chance to talk to me, she does whatever she can to try and keep me quiet. Even tried bribing me with money or shopping trips, and even got my gran to try and guilt trip me. Whoa, this is something crazy. This is on next level. Like, I don't know what to do. Does anyone have an experience with stuff like this? Any advice they can give me? Do I reach out to this man and ask about my brother? Do I tell my dad? I don't even know if she's still continuing the affair or if she's in my brother's life at all. I would tell my dad. I would tell my dad. I'm sorry. He's just living without even knowing that his wife has cheated on him, had a baby, and he hid the whole thing. And also, I would be so mad about my mum and my grandma lying about having cancer just to cover it up. Like that, I'd be vivid. So I would be telling my dad. I would be asking about my brother. I would be doing all of that. Like, I don't even care. Like, it would make a lot of things happen, and it would start a lot of fights, maybe. It would just basically turn your world upside down, but I would feel too bad knowing this information and not letting everyone else know what your mother has done, you know? So there's an update, and it goes, "Hello, if you don't know what the issue was, then the story is linked above and just read the title." So those who DM'd me and friends I have spoken with all told me to tell my dad, and that's what I did. Yeah, good. At first, he was in complete and utterly denial, and even when I showed him the picture of my mum with the secret baby brother and used the text my mum and gran sent me as proof, I had never seen him cry before, ever. Not even when my uncle died a few years ago, I never saw him tear up. Eventually, my mum came home and my dad just screamed and shouted at her. It was awful. I showed everything to my brothers and sisters, and my half-sister actually got into a physical fight with my mum. What? Oh my god. Well, I don't think physical will do anything, but she's kind of deserves the yelling and all that, like, realistically. I felt so guilty about saying all this. Mum has gone to grandma's. Neither of my brothers are talking to her, and when I got out who my mum's affair partner was, my mum's friend group kind of disowned her in a way, as he's 26, but he was 24, and was the son of one of her close friends who already had kids. That's the mum's fault. Like, you shouldn't feel guilty. Your mum did this, and you found out, and I feel like it would be worse. The guilt would be worse not telling your dad, and just seeing your dad not know that about your mum, you know? I wish I could go back to not knowing anything about this. I get that, like, being oblivious to it would have been so much nicer, but it's honestly good that they know what your mother is actually like and what she's done, because, like, it's crazy to think that she could have probably got away with this if she didn't have a baby picture in her wallet. I don't think my family will ever recover. My older half-brother is in England and is adamant on staying there. My brother is angry with my mum and isn't speaking to her either. Dad is just crying and saying he's going to hire a cutthroat lawyer to divorce my mum, and mum is distraught, blaming me, but is demanding I talk to her as she doesn't want to lose any more of her children. Damn, that's it? That is crazy. I don't even know what to say. I basically said what I thought on it. It's horrible now that your family is, like, turned upside down. Like, your whole life, as you know it, is not the same. But I don't think she should have the privilege of not having everyone else know, kind of thing. Like, she shouldn't just be able to walk around acting like she doesn't have a little child, little baby, not a child, a baby. And your dad doesn't know, your siblings don't know, and that, like, they put up a whole lie just to cover it is also crazy. But, like, they went so far as using cancer as an excuse is crazy to me. I don't know who in their right mind even thinks of that. Like, you could have said, like, oh, I've had a bad fall, I'm in hospital or something, I need someone to come and fix, like, you know, that's more not as bad. Cancer is such a bad excuse. It's insensitive to people that do have cancer and are actually fighting for their life. And even just the fact that she cheated. and had it for for a year, because it was from 2018 to 2019, and then she had the baby. And I guess like she cut it off then, or I don't know. I wonder if she cut it off. Is still like, does she even have any part in the life of the baby she gave birth to? We don't know this stuff. I wish we did, because it would have been so much more information to the story. But I know, I think it's good that she told her dad and everyone else, because they don't deserve to not know. Because if they don't know, they're just gonna, like, the mother did such a bad thing. She doesn't deserve to have everyone thinking she's like the best person. Anyways, yeah, so let me know what you thought about this in the comments. It's very wild, crazier than normal, because lying, the pregnancy, everything. Anyways, before we go, just want to remind you of the Patreon. Once again, the link will be in the description if you want to check it out. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in another video, guys. Bye.